Did you finish up at the doctor already, Rhea? How was the result?
I'm done. Hey, aren't you at work, Callum? Is it all right for you to be texting me?
A little bit is fine. I'm just really worried about your result. I can't concentrate on work, lol.
Really? You must love me a lot.
Of course. So, how was it?
Well, it is breast cancer. They said I should get surgery.
OMG. How advanced is it, and how far has it spread? You'll be alright if you get surgery now, right?
Well, I thought I'd tell you the details after you get back from work. But do you want to know now, Callum?
Now, if possible. Like I said earlier, I've been worrying about this all day. Would you prefer not to tell me over texts?
Maybe a little difficult to say right now. Yeah. I'm afraid of your reaction, Callum.
Afraid of my reaction? Why? Is it bad? Don't tell me it's too late to save you.
No, we should be fine there. As long as I have the surgery, there should be no threat to my life.
Oh, thank God. So, it's something else? I'll accept whatever it is, so just tell me.
Well, here goes. It looks like the cancer is more advanced than I thought. It might be difficult to preserve the breast tissue.
Oh, no. I'm not an expert, so I'll have to rely on the internet for this. Maybe this is an inaccurate way of putting it, but does that mean they'll be removing your breast tissue?
Yeah, it's exactly as you say. Well, not all of the tissue, just part of it.
I can't really picture it, but what's going to happen? Are your breasts just going to get smaller?
It depends on the case, but it might have an effect on their shape. They might become asymmetrical in shape or size. I'm sorry if that happens.
No, I'm the one who should be sorry. I couldn't imagine it properly, so I had to ask. Of course, it's not as simple as your breasts getting smaller.
No, not at all. According to some people, sometimes it can just be a case of them getting smaller.
But isn't this hard on you, Rhea? I'm sorry I asked so many insensitive questions. I should have thought of your feelings.
It's fine, Callum. Aren't you the one who'll be disappointed by this change? I don't think you'll like it when my breasts look weird.
Don't say that. I didn't marry your breasts, Rhea. I don't care at all if this changes the shape of them.
Are you sure?
What would I gain from lying about this? I'm just glad that you'll be able to live through this.
Thank you, Callum. Now I can feel positive about getting the surgery.
That makes me feel better too. I'm very blessed to have you as my wife.
I'm glad to have you as a husband, too. Thank you for being so understanding.
That goes both ways.
Rhea, I heard from Callum. You're getting surgery for breast cancer? That's right, Sharon. It's not a good feeling. I'm already nervous. I didn't know you were the type to get nervous. You don't seem to be the sensitive type. Well, all sorts can go wrong in surgery. There's also the fact that they'll be putting scalpels in my breasts, so of course I'd be nervous. They're an important part of my body as a woman. Really? You don't behave like a lady. I thought you don't really care about your femininity because you always dress so dull. I'm doing my best to do what works. I don't want to dress in a way that your son dislikes, after all. How you normally dress is you doing your best? Then you have no taste. maybe you should just give up, because you don't seem to be naturally inclined for that. No, I think it's important to make an effort. Maintaining your appearance is important. That advice means nothing coming from you. Well, I know you're not the most fashionable, but do your best, honey. Oh, but I do worry about you. You mean the surgery? There's almost no chance of failure, so I should be fine. There's minimal risk to my health, too. No, not that. Not the surgery. I'm worried about your marriage with my son. Our marriage? Thanks for the concern, but Callum and I are doing just fine. I don't think you have any reason to be concerned, Sharon. Don't worry. But you're talking about the present, aren't you? What about after the surgery? With your plain looks and your breasts losing their shape on top of that? That sounds pretty grim. We should be fine. Callum said I don't need to worry about that. I believe him. I wonder. Callum is very kind. He's probably just saying that to make you feel better. Well, I'll be getting the surgery anyway. So, I have to worry about that first. If you say so. But you'll be less attractive after that. When you have nothing else going for you, maybe Callum will change his mind? That's not really for me to decide. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, after all. You're always so argumentative, Rhea. That's why I'm saying that you lack femininity. You should learn more from me. Sharon, you're pushing 60 and still wearing miniskirts. I like to think I'm better than that. Are you really want to lecture others about fashion? Callum is always embarrassed by his mother's wardrobe, so maybe you should stop. Isn't it part of fashion to wear clothes that actually suit you? You're a really annoying daughter-in-law. Don't you know that you should respect your mother-in-law? I do wonder what Callum sees in you. I don't know. You'd have to ask Callum himself. But he says he loves me for my personality too, so I quite like myself. If you want your son to like me, maybe you could learn from me? You always think you're so clever with that mouth of yours. You won't be laughing for long. Don't come crying to me if Callum leaves you after the surgery. That doesn't seem like it's happening, so don't hold on to your hopes for that. Maybe you should stop being so rude or you won't be laughing for long, Sharon. You don't have to ask. Bye!
Rhea, I just finished work. I'm coming home. What's for dinner tonight?
What? You were so horrible to me this afternoon. How could you say such a thing? Are you going to pretend that didn't happen?
Huh? Sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Why are you so angry?
This is your email address, right? Ew, carved out breasts are gross, it says. When you reassured me the other day, were you lying to me?
Wait a second. I really don't remember sending that.
Then how do you explain the email? You sent this to me this afternoon from your phone, didn't you, Callum?
No, I didn't have a break today, and I didn't even touch my phone. Around that time, I was talking to a client.
Huh? So you really didn't send this?
It wasn't me. I always tell you, but you mean everything to me, Rhea. I would never do anything to hurt you.
Are you sure? Can I trust you on this?
If you don't believe me, you can check with my coworkers. Everyone knows I had a meeting with a client. But I'd like you to believe me if you can.
All right. I believe you, Callum. I'm sorry I jumped to conclusions.
No, it's understandable, because it is from my email address. But why did someone use my email? I really don't get it.
Did someone hack you?
I guess that's possible. But it's strange that they know about your breast cancer, don't you think? And I don't get why they'd send an email to you, Rhea.
I guess so. But you'd better check just in case.
You're right. I'll get my PC looked at. It's not impossible that this is a virus. But if it is, what a pain.
Why? What's wrong?
The laptop I left with my parents uses the same email address. I have to go get it, so that's a bit of a bother.
Wait a minute. Do you remember all the devices that use that email address?
I do remember, yeah. But why?
Just tell me.
Don't get so angry. The desktop PC at home, my phone, plus my laptop at my parents'. I think that's all of them.
You're certain?
I'm a little hazy about the one at my parents'. But I'm pretty sure. Why? Is that important?
Thanks. I think I might have figured out who did this thanks to what you just told me.
Seriously?
Dead serious. So, there's something I want you to do to help me confirm. Can you help me?
I'll help you with anything if we might be able to catch the culprit. What do I need to do?
I'll tell you when I get home. Do you have a minute, Sharon? It's something important.
What is it, Rhea? Did Callum lose his attraction for you?
No, that's not happening. So, don't you worry about that. You'd better worry about yourself rather than others at the moment.
About myself? What are you on about?
You're the one who's been sending me harassing messages through Callum's email address. Aren't you, Sharon?
Oh, those harassing messages? The ones saying that your breasts would lose their shape or be gross after surgery? You told me about those when you came over the other day. Why am I being blamed for those?
Do you know about spyware for people suspecting their partners are having an affair? That kind of software is really advanced these days.
Huh? I thought we were talking about those harassing emails. You suddenly changed the topic completely.
No, this has everything to do with the topic. Callum has a laptop that he keeps at your house, doesn't he? I installed spyware like that on that laptop. Of course, I did it with Callum's permission.
So what if you did? I don't see what that has to do with anything.
There's all sorts of different types to this kind of spyware. Some of them take regular screenshots of what the user sees on the desktop.
Screenshots?
That's right. Here's one of the screenshots it caught.
Yes, and? Are you trying to say that I sent those harassing messages? I was just trying to look up something on that laptop. What's the problem there?
You're right. There's no problem if you were just looking something up. But only if. The time that the email was sent and the time that you were using the laptop matches, Sharon.
You call that evidence? This is ridiculous.
Of course, that on its own isn't evidence enough. But it was enough to make a start for a deeper check. By checking properly, I could find out which device was used to send those emails. That's what you call evidence.
Oh, stop this nonsense. You're the one who was spying on me. I'll report you to the police.
That laptop is Callum's. I got those screenshots after getting permission from him. So there's no legal issues there. I've also got Jamal's permission. If anything, using someone else's PC and email address would be the legal issue.
You got my son and my husband involved? Did you show them both the evidence?
Of course I did. Even if you're family, this is a crime.
Hey, what did Callum and Jamal say? They're not angry, are they? It was just a little prank.
Yes, I have a message from Callum. He says he's cutting ties with you, so you should never contact him again. Jamal says he's decided to divorce you too. So you'd better prepare yourself before you get home.
Are you kidding me? I just insulted your looks a little bit. I didn't do anything to deserve this treatment.
That's not for you to decide, Sharon. It's for the three of us to decide in this case.
Come on, please. Can't you tell them to rethink this, Rhea? This is your fault, so you should take responsibility.
I'm impressed that you have the nerve to say such a thing after what you did. You always judge people by their appearance. But why don't you take this opportunity to improve that ugly personality of yours? After that, Jamal divorced Sharon because he was furious with what she did. Callum was also very angry with his mother, so he decided to press charges against her. But Jamal had a discussion with him and offered compensation instead of suing Sharon for emotional damages. Callum accepted this, since it was his father's wishes. As a stay-at-home wife for a long time, Sharon wouldn't have been able to support herself and pay the money for the lawsuit. Jamal's arrangement was a final act of mercy to Sharon as they separated. As for me, after a successful surgery, I'm back to living normally and healthily. My breasts have changed shape due to the tissue removal. But Callum still loves me with all my heart even after these changes. I suppose this would be a big deal for someone shallow. That's why if you only care about people's appearances like Sharon, you won't be treated well by others in return. Beauty comes from within, after all.